Well, big breaking news which is coming in regarding the bunch of pleas which are being taken up regarding Article 370's dilution. Supreme Court has pulled up Congress leader Ghulam Nabi Azad and has said, why is it that your first prayer, which was to be allowed to go to Jammu and Kashmir at the time that was allowed, then you continued with several of your other prayers, such as asking for the number of detentions which were all asked. So it was Azad, Yechuri, all of them, one after the other, are being snubbed by the Supreme Court. Let me go across to Harish Nair, who's joining us, a legal editor, with more details on it. Asifa Ali, followed by Yechuri, and now Azad is the last one, the final one, who's now being snubbed by the Supreme Court, it seems, being shown the door with their petitions on Article 370. Harish?
Yes, exactly. Remember, on the last date of hearing, Ghulam Nabi Azad had approached, he had become a petitioner in this restrictions, bunch of petitions, and he had said that he tried to go to Jammu Kashmir twice, but he was turned back from the Srinagar airport, and after he came to the Supreme Court in fact allowed him to travel to Supreme Court, travel to the Jammu Kashmir, 4 districts of Jammu Kashmir, and today he came back and said, as per the Supreme Court order, I have been allowed to go back. But his lawyer said that situation is very tense and normalcy has not returned, contrary to the government claims. And now I seek a report regarding the number of persons who have been illegally detained by the government after the abrogation of Article 370. Then the judge, the bench shot back saying your request for traveling to traveling to Srinagar and other places in Jammu Kashmir have been allowed. Other steps may have been taken on grounds of national security, and these prayers cannot be granted for the time being. So this was a snub to Ghulam Nabi Azad, who had gone beyond his prayer for traveling to Jammu Kashmir. Supreme Court was just not ready to agree to his other demands being made, saying that these measures may have been taken by the government in the interest of internal security and national security.
Do stay on with us. Ravinder Raina of Jammu and Kashmir BJP also joining us here on the show. Mr. Raina, very interesting. One after the other, all these pleas are being rejected by the Supreme Court, where they have been saying that there are too many curbs, too many curfews, too many restrictions, and questioning the custody of political leaders. Do you think this is also a message going out by the Supreme Court, that don't come to the Supreme Court again and again with multiple pleas just because it seems that they are part of a larger brigade?
This is very, very unfortunate that the opposition parties in the country, including the Congress Party and Communist Party of India, and all these political parties are leaving no stone unturned in defaming the nation. They are putting repeated pleas into the Honorable Supreme Court of India, and they are just trying to create an atmosphere of a vicious atmosphere in Kashmir Valley. They are just trying to instigate the Kashmiri people, and they are repeatedly recalling the Kashmiri youth to pelt stone and to go and be violent and protest. That's why they are repeatedly filing the cases in Honorable Supreme Court of India. But the Honorable Supreme Court has rightly said that there is a court. Judiciary also is there in J&K. And before coming to the Honorable Supreme Court, they should go and knock the doors of judiciary in J&K. Why don't they come over here? We have here the Honorable High Court.
Yes.
We have the Honorable Judges over here. And why every time these people used to go to New Delhi and they are filing case in Honorable Supreme Court, they are just trying to politicize the issue. They just want to defame the country. And Congress party leaders, including Ghulam Nabi Azad and others, they want anarchy, mess and chaos in Kashmir Valley. Congress want.
Yes, there are two things that the Supreme Court said. First, why did you not go to the Jammu and Kashmir High Court instead? The second, to Ghulam Nabi Azad, that it's national security. Ravinder Raina, do you think this is very interesting? The fact that not the first time, but the second time the Supreme Court has talked about national security. Earlier too, at the time of Tehseen Poonawalla, the Supreme Court, the learned court had said that it's time to allow the government some time, because after all, it's about national security, which is going to be their first priority. Today again, the Supreme Court talks about national security while dismissing the plea.
Absolutely, you are absolutely right. Here we are dealing the situation, and the situation is improving day by day. We have seen all the 10 districts of the Jammu region are quite open. Life is normal. No problem here. No problem in Ladakh region. And even in North Kashmir, the 3 districts of North Kashmir, the life has already come to the normal situation. Normal routine life is there. And some parts of the Srinagar and some parts of the South Kashmir, there is some trouble because of Pakistani-sponsored terrorism. We have seen few days back in 2 encounters, 6 Pakistani terrorists were neutralized by our brave security forces, Jawans of Indian Army and Police. And see, the Congress party and other political opposition party leaders,
Right.
what they are doing, when nation, whole country is united, Congress trying to divide the country. Shame on all these politicians.
Well, thank you so much, Ravinder Raina, for joining us. Even as we speak to you, big breaking news which is coming in from the Supreme Court. The highest court of our land has wrapped all the petitioners, 10 of them which came up today, for lying to the apex court, saying that the state high court was not functioning. Remember, this is precisely what it said to Sitaram Yechuri as well. Why are you coming to the Supreme Court? Why can't you go to the Jammu and Kashmir High Court, which is functioning normally? It has happened in the past as well. Pradeep Datta, the Supreme Court seems to be calling out all the lies of the Curbs and Custodies League, it seems, today.
Yes, in fact, blackout lobby as well as the opposition party leaders, they had been churning out lies. They had been trying to portray a very gloomy picture. That is one of the reasons that Supreme Court had to snub them again and again. And this time again, the Supreme Court had said that why you are not going to the Jammu and Kashmir High Court. Last time when they were told that that time they had said that Jammu and Kashmir High Court is not functioning. In fact, Supreme Court said that the Supreme Court Justice said that they will get in touch with, in fact, the Chief Justice of Jammu and Kashmir High Court and try to seek the report from her that what exactly is happening on the ground, whether the Jammu and Kashmir High Court is functioning or not. But there is in fact a report which they have got that clearly indicates that Jammu and Kashmir, without any problem, Jammu and Kashmir High Court is functioning. But this blackout lobby as well as the opposition party leader, they are deliberately knocking doors of apex court, not only wasting the time and not realizing, because the situation in Jammu and Kashmir remains fragile, and that is one of the reasons the national security has been cited as one of the reasons, asking them not to come again and again with such petitions, because they have to understand that there is a fragile peace, because at this juncture, neither they can allow any kind of a political activity, nor they can allow the people who are already detained under Personal Public Safety Act. They can't also be released, because that is what exactly had been Vaiko asking for regarding the detention of the former Chief Minister Farooq Abdullah, because Supreme Court has clearly made it clear, if somebody is detained under PSA, Supreme Court will not be interfering and intervening in that matter. So Supreme Court has clearly snubbed, and in fact I think these political party leaders also need to understand, because they are talking about curbs and clampdown. Nobody is condemning all those terror-related incidents by coming and again knocking at the door of Supreme Court. They are only trying to give legitimacy to the false narrative being unleashed from across the border and trying to provide handle to Pakistan, because that way, that is what actually Pakistan really wants at this stage. Already being snubbed at the international level, Pakistan is really looking for such kind of a narrative emanating from the Indian soil so that they can use the same against government of India. But the reality is that everybody understands now from 3rd onwards the schools and colleges will open. Now they are also trying to open the postpaid mobile network connectivity. Already the landline has started functioning in Kashmir Valley, and there had been total calm. No untoward incident has taken place except for few terror-related incidents where the terrorists have tried to target civilians, whether it was in the downtown area, whether it was the fruit trader's family. And today also there was an encounter going on in Ganderbal area. One more terrorist has been eliminated. So I think the opposition party leader need to focus on that thing also. But the problem is that they are deliberately turning blind eye to all these nefarious design of Pakistan, because that way they will not be able to corner administration, because they are trying to blame administration and central government for everything whatever is happening in Kashmir Valley, rather than targeting Pakistan and Pak proxies who are trying to destabilize situation in Jammu and Kashmir.
Right, so two big takeaways from what the Supreme Court has said to the Luton's lobby. First, that it's called out the lies of the Luton's copy when it said that the High Court of Jammu and Kashmir was not functioning. First, it was the lie called out. The second important takeaway from the Supreme Court is that it categorically says that national security is above a lot of other petitions, especially which have been put in fictitiously by the Supreme Court. Thank you so much for joining us, Pradeep Datta.